Welcome back, friends. Just wanted to make this quick tutorial regarding a bunch of commands that come really handy, and I'll be very honest with you that these commands are very much useful, and once you get used to Linux environment you will execute them almost every time on a daily basis. So first of all, let's come on to applications and let's bring up the terminal. You can also change the look of this terminal by right clicking on this terminal and coming on to profiles, and in profile preferences, whatever preferences you want to set, the font that you want to use, the size of the font that you want to use, or the coloring of the fonts. Like many people use green over black, which kind of looks soothing to the eyes. So if I click on these settings, we see that these settings have been enabled in the background. Now once I get logged out and come back in, these settings will persist. So if you want to go ahead with this one, that's all right. And let's try to see. The first command that I'm going to tell you is present working directory, or short form pwd. This command shows that where in the system at the moment I am. You see this thing over here, this prompt is saying that Ahmed at localhost. This localhost is the name of the machine. We can change it to whatever name we want to by using a couple of commands to edit a couple of files that I can show you, but let's not indulge into that at the moment. Let's just focus on pwd, which is present working directory. So I want to see that where my prompt is at the moment. I press enter over here and it shows me that at the moment I am in this very directory, in home and Ahmed. So if I want to switch to a different directory, let's say I want to come back to this home directory and not into Ahmed directory, I can type in cd ... cd space and two dots, without any space. So I see that this has changed from, now it has come to home, and now if I typed in pwd, I see we are at home. Now to see the contents of the directory, the command is ls, or listing for short, or list for short. So if I type this one, I see that I've got only one directory by the name of Ahmed. To go into that particular directory, I type in cd, or change directory for short, and then Ahmed, which is the name of the directory. There is an option of auto completion as well. So if I type in a and tab, because there is no other possible option if there had been many directories by the name of, starting from A, and let's say ALD or ABC or ACD, then pressing the tab would not have completed them. But at the moment, since there is only one, so if I press tab, it gets automatically completed. I press enter over here and I do an ls to see the listing of this directory, and it shows me that these are the available directories. Now let's get further into documents. We can also see the listing of a particular directory by typing in ls, and instead of first going into that directory, straight away type the name of that directory. So the documents folder is empty. Let's also see if we have got something in videos folder. So this one is also empty. No problem. We can type in ls/, which is the root partition. So we see that we have got this listing. If I type in ls-l, which means long listing, it will show me the important information like timestamps when that particular directory was created, and also the size of the files, which is over here. So just remember that pwd is present working directory, cd to change to a certain directory, like change directory, then list is for listing. Now to create a directory, let's try to create one. Let's see first where we are. I'm in my own home folder. So to make a directory, I can type in mkdir. If I press tab over here, it shows me multiple options completing mkd. So I want to choose mkdir, so I type in mkdir, and over here I can type in test, which is the name of the directory. Now if I type pwd over here, we see, or I should say ls, we see that this test directory has been created. Now once the directory has been created, you can remove it by typing in rmdir and then the name of the directory, which is test. So once you do that, there is no, remember that in Linux environment and in Unix environment, normally when you are working on command line, there is no confirmation. Once the command is able to be executed, it will get executed no matter what the result is. So if I type in ls, we see that test directory has been removed. Now let's try to create that test directory one more time by typing in make directory test, and in that test directory, if I go into that test directory, let's create a file. Now there are a couple of ways to do that. The easiest way is to touch and then the name of the file. Let's just call it test again and do a log listing of this directory. We see that we have created a file at this time by the name of test. Now if I come back one step, now we see that I'm in home Ahmed. I do an ls and I can see this test directory. Now if I want to remove this test directory using the command rmdir and then test, then it says that I cannot delete it because the folder is not empty. Now in order to delete these folders, and this is a very dangerous command that I'm going to show you, just be careful when you are trying to execute, because it will not ask for any confirmation. Whenever you are doing a removal, it is kind of my recommendation for new users that when you are doing a removal or deletion of any files in any folder, make sure that what you are trying to delete is in the right path. Like if I want to delete something, I will make sure that I'm in the right path where that file is, because there is a command that can delete everything from your system without your any confirmation. So I see that I'm in home and Ahmed and I want to delete test directory, and it has got many multiple files in it. So the command is rm, short for remove, and afterwards I type in minus is the switch. R means recursively. It means that it has got, if it has got files or folders in it, doesn't matter how many they are, it will recursively start removing them. And this is another switch, which is force. That does not matter that whatever is in there, whether it is empty or not, just remove them. And after that I type in the name of the file or the directory that I want to remove. So if I press enter over here, or even with this one, this directory along with its all the files and any other folder that it has got in it will be removed. So you see I just pressed enter and all the thing has gone. The command that I was talking about, which is dangerous, if I come on to the root of the system, which is over here, and I type in rm then static, then if I press enter, then it will remove everything until unless only those files are left, which are trying to hold the system before it gets shut down. But once those files get removed and I reboot the system, it will never come back. So just be careful with that. Now to come on to our home directory again, let's type in cd home and Ahmed, and over here let's create a file. Let's type in, let's say, test. Now if I want this file that is created, it is usually a text file. Just like in case of Microsoft, you can right click on to your desktop and create a text file. This is a text file, test. Now to change the contents of this text file or to view them, there are a couple of ways. One is to do a cat, which is short for concatenate the file to standard output, which is this terminal at the moment, this one. So if I type in cat test, we should see that there is no information in there. Another way to see the contents is to use more command, then the name of the file, which is test. Again, there is nothing. Now if I want to edit the test file, I can type in vi, which is an editor available in Ubuntu as well as in CentOS by default. Afterwards I type in the name of the file, which is test. I press enter and I see that I have entered into the file. Now to change the contents of the file, press I, which is for insert, short for insert. Press I and now I can type in whatever I want to. So if I type in, let's say this is the test file, and afterwards if I want to save it, you see this is still showing that insert. So I need to get out of this insert mode. To do that, I need to press escape, and now I want to save the file. So the way to do that is full colon, shift and full colon, and W means, my mistake, W means write this file or save this file. So I not only want to save this file, but after saving I want to close this file as well. To do that, there is another switch which is Q for quit, and then exclamation mark. So it's like I'm writing the file and afterwards I'm quitting the file or getting out of this file. So I press enter, and the changes have been made into the file. To view the contents again, we can use the cat or more. Now we see that the contents have been saved into the test file. So just quick commands, a couple of them only: ls, listing, pwd, present working directory. Just try to remember them because they are really handy, I tell you that. And almost 50 or 60% of the time of admins, they are using these commands. You are not an admin, I do know that you are a new user, but being a new user, try to remember them and try to use these commands as well, so that you get the feeling that how does it feel like to work on the command line as well. Of course GUI is there, but this will be an augmentation to your skills. Well, that's it folks. I hope you have liked these small nuggets regarding Ubuntu and CentOS operating system. I hope you have learned from these, and I would expect you to use these operating systems in your environment. So good luck with that, and I would like to thank you for viewing.